Your child may be struggling with your divorce and you may not even know it. Here are some things to look for. One of the main things I look for when determining whether or not a child is struggling with a divorce is whether or not the child is acting out. Things like acting out in school, not listening to their parents, not listening to their grandparents when their parents aren't around. If these behaviors are starting to come up and they weren't normally around in your child may be struggling with your divorce. Divorce is difficult. It's difficult for the parents. It's difficult for the adults. You can only imagine the toll that it takes on your child. Another thing that may show that your child is struggling with the divorce is your child avoiding you. Avoidance is a big indicator that your child is having a difficult time, and it may be time for you to try to talk to them. If they're not open to communicating with you, it may be time for you to look into counseling or therapy for the child to ensure that the child has someone they can talk to during that process to make sure that they are taken care of and that they're regulating their emotional health. The truth matters, but how much should you share with your children? The answer, not much. You really should not communicate with your children regarding the specifics of what's going on during the divorce. Now, of course, when you have older children, when they're 17 or 16, and they see that you've separated from the other parent, we don't want to try to keep that child in the dark. Keeping them in the dark can make them shut down. It can make them have a really difficult time with the divorce. So you tell them the surface level things. You tell them that their parents are separating, that they're going to be staying at both houses, but you keep them out of the conflict. You don't tell them about the property division issues. You certainly don't tell them that you're fighting for X parenting time schedule and that dad wants them to have Y parenting time schedule. Those specifics need to be kept between the court process and the parties. The children need to be shielded from those things, or your child can start to experience significant issues associated with the divorce. Are you putting your kids in the middle of the divorce without even realizing it? Here are some things that you can do to make sure you're not involving your kids in the divorce. The first thing I recommend, talk positively about the other parent. I know you're going through a divorce. I know this isn't your favorite person in the world right now, but that is a person that you once and likely still share a lot of love for. And that's the mother or father to your child. It's very important for your child's emotional well-being that the child feels good about both you and the other parent. So talking positively about them when you're in your home and when that parent's not around can be really beneficial to the child. Another thing I really recommend doing for your child during dissolution proceedings is establishing a routine for them. Maintaining a consistent routine, given that they're now experiencing a new routine of being in two separate households with two separate parents, can be really beneficial and can help them to have an idea of what they should expect every day and how their life is going to look moving forward. Could a few sessions with the right therapist change your child's entire future? It's definitely likely. If you're noticing that your child is struggling during the divorce, I highly recommend finding them someone that they can speak with. Now, that very well may be you. It very well may be the other parent. But if you notice that your child is avoiding you guys, is closing off a little bit, isn't wanting to openly communicate with you guys like they would have prior to you telling the child about the divorce, it may be time to consult with a therapist. Therapists help children going through divorces all of the time. They're professionals in that field. They know the type of issues to look for, and they know really good techniques to help kids overcome the common issues that we see children deal with during these processes. If you want to help your children thrive after a divorce with your other co-parent, I significantly recommend speaking with someone who's been through this process before. Our team would be happy to sit down with you and give you tips and tricks, both to avoid court and to make sure that if you do end up finding yourself back in court, you know exactly what you need to have prepared to move forward.